Greetings to you and welcome to Meaningful Levity. I hope you are doing well. Today I will be, telling you the power of staying calm, keeping your composure, you know, remaining respectful, right? Being polite, even when you think you are right, okay? Logically speaking, when you know for a fact that you are right? And you've been mistreated, right? What is the power of staying calm? And what is the power of remaining respectful? And what is the power of being polite, right? Despite the fact that you are right. You see, we all understand that whenever we react impulsively, right? Even when we are right, but when we try to um, when we try to over rationalize things, all right, most of us, me included, all right, I'm a very rational person, meaning that when people try to say 1 plus 1 is 3, when I know 1 plus 1 is 2, naturally I will be triggered to argue out why isn't 1 plus 1 2, you know? But what we often forget is that we often, because when you are good willed, right, you think everybody around you is also positive. You think everybody around you mean you're good. You think everybody around you is just there to uplift you and just as you would uplift them. But unfortunately, just like Nas says in his music, people fear what they don't understand and what they hate what they can't conquer. They can't conquer, right? So most of the time, be it at a workplace, you would find yourself in situations where um, people are trying to throw, you know, stumbling blocks on your way, and you're like, "What is happening?" Like for instance, you may be in a situation at the workplace whereby somebody is not even part of your team, and that person has come to give you instructions. You're like, "Wait a minute, you are probably it has happened to me, okay?" Whereby a guy that is normally in charge of you know upkeep of the what do you call it, of the place of work, all right? So it's like a very big office, all right? I wouldn't call it even an office, workplace, right? And he's in charge of, let's say, seeing to the cleanliness of the place. He doesn't do the cleaning himself, so but he's like a supervisor. He has to check to make sure that there is coffee in all the coffee machines. The toilets are cleaned, by those who do the cleaning, and all the supplies are available, to workers that may need, whatever that they may need, right, at any point in time. So he's that guy, right? And I am a worker for the company uh that owns this particular floor or that has bought or that occupies this floor, right? So I was at my workplace, for instance, and this guy, he all of a sudden came to me giving me instructions about something that I had not done wrong, okay? But he just and I was like, what is happening? Because first of all, you are not in my team, and you are also I'm not working with you in any way, right? My field is totally different from your field. You are not part of even the company's team. All you do is not to undermine him or denigrate him, but all he does is to take care of the office, and you don't even interact with workers on any basis, unless maybe there is an emergency whereby, or maybe there is something new where you may want to inform maybe the staff or something. But such a person came and tried to give me advice on certain things, okay, because he saw me in the morning, going to the post, the what do you call it, the post service or the mail service to send some file somewhere, right? So when he saw me, just like Nas said, out of fear of the unknown and envy, right? People hate what they can't conquer. The people that would often try to provoke you are people that are actually obsessed with you, right? So they see something in you that you are different, right? So you see people making videos and be talking about chosen ones and what have you. You are probably a chosen one. Not to say everybody is chosen in one way or the other, but some people just can't stand your light. They can't stand your positivity. They can't stand the good vibes and all of that. And you automatically become a target. You get it? Because one thing you should understand is that narcissistic people and evil people prey upon empathic people, right? So they often would come at you and try, and the purpose of what they do is to simply what, either get a reaction from you, right? So they want to use dominative tactics, try to dominate you and cause you to get some reaction from you, so that they would feel like, they are in control. That is the purpose. You see, out of envy, this is what they do. And secondly, they do that to also set you up, right? And that still comes back to the reaction, because when they do that and they get you, because for instance, you are known to be this calm person and this respectful person, this person that is liked by almost everybody. Nobody has problem with you. You smile with everybody. You keep peace and all of that. Such people cannot. They feel like you are just taking the spotlight. Maybe the way you dress, the way you show up, you stand out. Even when you don't even seek attention, you're very down to earth. It's just like people just notice that you are different. You see, so they would try to get this reaction from you, and the sole purpose of this, apart from just trying to intimidate you because they want to feel superior, actually they are inferior because they are obsessed with you. They hate themselves, so they have to belittle you in some way or the other so that they can feel like what narcissistic people think in terms of wins and losses, right? So it's just that they cannot afford to see you shine. It's like you are just taking the spotlight. You see? So that is one of the reasons. The second reason why they do what they do is because they want to set you up. So everybody, no matter how nice you are, no matter how kind you are, when you are provoked, what happens? Especially in an unjust manner, you may try to defend yourself. And when they infuriate you and you start to defend yourself, they end up setting you up, because people who see you like being mad wouldn't bother to ask, like, why is this guy mad? They simply conclude that he's not all that we thought he was, you know and that is what this is what he's trying to create. He's trying to set you up and create the impression that no, this guy is not all that we pretend he is. you know Look at how he's yelling, look at how he's shouting. you know and after they manipulate you, they are going to keep quiet, right, and walk away from the scene, or act like, why are you doing what you are doing, like, so anybody coming would see you as what, the attacker. Everybody would see you as the one at fault. Everybody would see you as somebody that is. So it's just a form of manipulation and gaslighting. You see? So if you are not, and it's not so easy, right? That is why I'm making this video, to share my experience. Because if you have never been exposed to such a thing, you naturally defend yourself. And when you do that, they can set you up and you lose your job. They can set you up and you just to tarnish your image. That is the purpose. You see? So what happened when this guy came and did all that he did? I just I just focus on the facts, right? I refused to, because I could understand, because I've had such experiences before. That's why I'm sharing this so that you'll be informed. Because if you aren't aware of such a thing, you are going to just step up to defend yourself. Not to defend yourself violently or physically, but to say something and to question. And once he drags you into that mess of argument, he gets into that messy hole, you are done. Right? And that is what they want from you. They just want that reaction from you. You see? So he did that, and I was like, from my end, like, do I really need to, like, I did not try to even question, like, what is the relationship between you and I? Whatever. I was just like, okay, okay. He said this and this, and that. I was like, okay, okay, okay. And while I was saying okay, I could see that he still had very awful face. All right. He still have a lot of bitterness in his face. Meanwhile, I don't work with you. I don't know you. I only see you there. I don't know. And what you are accusing me of was nothing. I did nothing, absolutely nothing. And he actually came to gossip about the people at the mail service. I mean, he came, so it's like the people, so which means such people, that's why they call them narcissistic people, often have flying monkeys, all right? So the thing came from, maybe he had an interaction with the people at the mail office. Whatever the people at the mail office told him, probably the people at the mail office don't necessarily like me in that way, right? So what would they do? They would try to gaslight, to gossip. That's what evil people do. They'll gossip, try to tarnish your image. So they will do everything, right? So he came, in a way. So because he sees himself as, he oversees the different offices. So he thinks he can abuse that kind of, whatever, to just come to me and just come and say something and just trigger me, or, so he did that, right? And the purpose of what they do, just like Nas says, people fear what they don't understand. The purpose of what they do is to make sure that they break your code, right? They want to break your code and get to understand, how do we conquer him? How does this guy act in case we approach him in such a situation? How does he do? How does he move, right? Is he somebody that is openly furious? Is he somebody that is explosive? How would he act? How would he act, right? Because if they don't test the waters, they will not be able to manipulate you, because the purpose is to make sure they do something at the end of the day. Where you do something, now they have a proof that you did something wrong, and now with that they can say something to your manager, they can do something. That is the purpose, right? So after this guy did all that, what did I do? I was just like, okay, okay. I was like, but first of all, I questioned. I was like, are you asking me to do this? He said I should raise a ticket and whatever. I don't understand, because I do see you working on cafe machines and what have you. You coming to tell me to raise a ticket. I don't usually raise any ticket whenever I'm to send shipment. If I'm to send files, if you're at the mail service, don't raise any ticket. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I've never worked with you before. But I did not say anything. I just kept it to myself. I was just like, raise a ticket at my level. Like, and he was like, so he kept on, he was like, I saw you with some packing cases and you needed to do this and this and this. I'm like, I don't work at a mail service. When I go to send something, I need packing cases. I ask them to give me those and they bring what I need. And I just put my files and send and go back to my office. Like, I don't know, but I did not ask him any of these. So I just like raised take it at my level. And he was like, no, the parking cases that you took, you were supposed to raise a ticket. And it was all pure lies. So he did that, and I just kept quiet. And you're like, go to the mail office, they want to see you, whatever. I was just didn't just know what he was doing or saying. So I just ignored, and what happened? Later, one of the guys from the mail service came and contacted me, which means that these are people that hate you low key and they go about, because they just can't stand you. You haven't done anything wrong, you see. But because I remained calm, what happened? He couldn't get a reaction that he needed from me. So what happened? He started hating me, just like Nas says, people hate what they don't understand. Or sorry, they hate what they can't conquer and they fear what they don't understand. So out of fear, he wanted to decode me to understand me. He couldn't decode me. Now the second thing was what? Was to try to, was to so he then started showing hate. He would see me and frown, and put some kind of like posture that I wouldn't understand. He would be like, "How are you?" In French. I'm like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "I'm fine. How are you? Hope you are fine." And then he keeps quiet. So this is somebody that is highly, highly insecure, and he's just using these manipulative tactics to dominate, and because they have some emptiness within them, and they are not like us. You know, they have a deep, there's just a problem with such people, right? These are psychopaths. You can call them anything, narcissistic people. So he did that, and I remained calm throughout the process. Now, what is the power of being calm throughout this process? I was able to what, protect my mental health. Secondly, he didn't get a reaction from me, but being calm, I understand him. He doesn't understand me in any way. So that creates some kind of mystery, right? He doesn't know who this guy is, what is this guy capable of, what could be, so he will have to, and since he has already exposed himself, now I know how to handle him at any point in time. You see, I'm never going to play his game. You see, but more especially in all this, I was able, I can still work with him professionally, meaning that you've brought a fight. They always say the idea is to win the war, not the battle. I could lose this small conflict, this battle, but I'm winning the bigger war. Meaning, just recently, you know, I don't know whether he, like one of the, the, the archive rooms, for instance, that I have access to, one of them was locked, right? So the one that was locked, I needed to actually get into one of these places. And what happened? To get into one of these places, I needed this man's services. Okay. It could be that, whether it was done deliberately by him in a way to get me back so that he can act like a nice person again. Okay. So he will intentionally make sure because they were doing some works on that particular floor. So he will intentionally create something and then make them, lock it up. And then so that I can come back and through that we can reconcile or something. I never really had issues with him. I've always still kept, I see him, I just say hi and walk away. As I've still, because I have no issues with him. See, but he wanted to now show an opportunity to show that he's a nice person regardless. Or, maybe that was a reason. Or it could also be that it was just by accident that the place was locked. And then when I needed him to open the place for me, I didn't even know he was the one in charge of those stuffs. So I went to see, uh the administrator, and before I realized they directed me to him. So when I got there, I was still able to maintain my professional relationship because I never acted in any way and so I'm still able to keep my usual composure and who I am. I did not have to change, but he was now vibrating. You see, he was now vibrating because he's like, wait a minute, what is happening? You know, and the administrator actually walked me to him. All right. So the person that you were trying to belittle, the administrator herself has so much respect for this person that the administrator would walk this person to you who is in charge of the office upkeep. So you see the intimidation. I haven't said a word, I haven't done anything. He was just vibrating because he realized that he was probably messing up. He has to act right. So what happened? I won the war because at the end of the day, he had to make all the necessary calls to make sure that the office is opened. Though I remained calm and I was like, no problem. If it cannot work today, no problem. I'll keep my manager informed. And then anytime it's open, I'll come back and do what I had to do. So the power, this is simply the power of remaining calm. All right. Except in cases where you are physically threatened. Okay. Your life is threatened. You see, in some cases, you will have to defend yourself, but most people wouldn't have even the courage to take it to that level. So don't be moving around fighting simple, and little fight. You know, be a warrior, right? Don't fight little fight. See, so this is the power of actually what? Keeping your composure, a power, some people would call it emotional intelligence, right? But I don't really want to say use that term, but I would just say this is the power of what? Keeping your composure. This is the power of what? Remaining calm. This is the power of being what? Polite, you know, because that mystery would, and what, so the people, what they have, the wrong that they have tried to do to you would haunt them forever. And they never got a reaction from you that creates a mystery that they can never solve. You become like a puzzle in their head each and every day. And you see, others would fight your fight for you without you really stepping up. And all the plans, the evil plans that they had to tarnish your image, they are going to fail. So you, at the end of the day, would be the winner by simply not playing their games or doing anything, but by being yourself. But to do this, it is important that you hear stories like this to actually understand that such people exist, so that when you are faced with it, you would know how to what? To keep also your composure. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got some value from this video. Please remember to subscribe in order not to miss my future videos. And it's also just your little way of supporting the channel, right? Make sure you like, right? If you don't like the video, let me know in the comment section what you don't like, right? And if you have any remarks and some additional tips that could help us all grow, right? And understand our environments and develop, please make sure you leave them in the comment section. I love you and see you in the next one.